So this birdhouse project, this Not a Birdhouse project, was brought on by a really generous donation from some of our community members who showed up at our doorstep and offered us 350 wooden birdhouses and said, "Can you use them?" And we found a way to use them.
So when Christina Stem mentioned this idea about the birdhouses that were being donated, I of course thought, yeah, this is a great idea. Sure, I'm willing to go along with this. And it has been a really exciting process of discovery. The first thing we did was research. We got out our laptops, went to the internet, did some research on possible birdhouse designs, as well as just general architectural designs for inspiration.
Students had to come up with their own user. They had to define what their own user was, or who they were, and what are their needs and wants, kind of empathize with that user. How could the birdhouse be better? Build a better birdhouse.
What's your thought now? What are you working on?
I'm gonna paint the inside so my stuffy will feel at home. Because this is gonna be, he used to live in my bed, which my covers are purple, and he sleeps underneath, and he likes the color purple, so I'm painting it purple.
We are going to saw the top of this house, and we're going to saw the roof, so then we'll create an open area and put soil on the top where it was, and we'll grow some plants on it, and so the birds can have a natural habitat, and instead of having just a wooden house, they'll have plants inside. They can maybe take some off and make a nest.
So students began to plan and draw sketches and figure out what they were going to do, then started into work. Mostly painting was the first thing that people started doing, but pretty soon people discovered that you could take parts of the building off and modify the birdhouse in many different ways.
And then in my classroom, they used screwdrivers and hammers to take off roofs and reconstruct porches and carpet samples and add all different kinds of things to it to really make it the best that it could be for their user. Along the way, there was a lot of constraints that students had to use because of limited supplies or limited tools. They had to redefine their project several times, and they still only had that one birdhouse to work with. So if they had made some major reconstruction to it that wasn't ideal, they still had to figure out how to make it ideal.
I spent a lot of my time really with students coming up with an idea and saying, I want to do this. What can I use to do this? Rather than being the kind of situation where I'm saying, okay, our assignment for today is for you to add this or that to your creation. It was very much where the teacher, myself, was being a resource person. Oh, well, maybe I wouldn't use a screwdriver to do that, but I would use a hammer. Or maybe what you really are looking for is rope instead of yarn. Or maybe you need some wire or something like that. So it was a lot of problem solving on my part. Well, maybe problem solving isn't the best word. It was probably more like suggesting. I did a lot of suggesting. Well, maybe you should try this. Have you thought about that? Why don't you take a look at this? How about look at this artist? A lot of times, or this type of building design. Students would be working on something and say, that kind of reminds me of this person or that artist. Maybe you should take a look at them. And then boom, they had a research project. They were off to the library to look up something, or in the art room here used one of our computers to find something. So it's a great experience. A lot of kids, I think, would have been more than happy to work the entire, they'd be happy to still be working on this project, and to the point where the birdhouse would probably just disintegrate or totally become something completely different. In the end, we came up with many birdhouses that are not birdhouses, and as always, encourage the kids to talk about their process.
Wow. So, how is this? Are these pieces here from the original birdhouse?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
We just took them up.
Just took them off there. So where did this idea come from? How did you guys think of this idea? That's pretty cool.
Well,
Actually, well, because I was thinking on just taking up the roof, but it became kind of a bit destructive. So we kind of just made like a fort out of it, like this, and then we added to, like we kind of got the idea because he wanted to do the same thing. So we connected them to make a fort like this.
we just got a hammer and started banging it.
Well, sometimes getting a hammer and starting to bang is a good way to start creativity. If I had a hammer, man, I'd hammer in the morning, that's for sure. I'd hammer all over the way.